So what if you could show that you as a dancer, that you have one of the greatest opportunities of any profession on this planet to create your own situation where compound interest will not only work for you, but retire you with more money than you could likely spend. You don't believe me? Check this out. Let's look at the value of $300,000 making 11.5% from mutual funds. What it will be in 5, 10, 15, 30, and 40 years. This is going to blow you away. Now, in the first example, we look at $300,000 at 11.5% interest, which is, the average rate of return in the stock market since the Great Depression. So you can see in this example, the future value after 5 years is over $517,000. Now, at first glance, that may not be overly impressive, but here is something that you need to consider. In 5 years, you made $217,000, which means you made over $43,000 a year, not taking your clothes off once. Now let's look at the next slide, and you will see things start getting really, really interesting. Now, here is where you'll really see where we are going with this, and it gets really super exciting. You can see after 10 years, your original $300,000 investment almost triples. And guess what? A few days after the 12th year, your nest egg finally becomes worth $1 million. Now, congratulations, you are now a true millionaire by year 12, if not sooner, because of the sources of income you might have. Now, at year 15, you're worth $1.5 million. And at year 30, you're worth $7.8 million. Now, for the super insane part, you're up next. How much do you think that you will be worth by year 40? 12 million, 15 million? It's only 10 more years, so it can't be that much more. Or is it? At year 40, get a load of this. At year 40, your original $300,000 investment is now worth over $23 million. Unbelievable, isn't it? And oh wait, it even gets better. Let's just say that you work extra hard to master the Freedom 5 program and that you were able to save an extra $100,000. Now, what would it be worth at the end of 40 years? That little extra, $100,000, turns into an extra $7 million for a grand total of $31 million. And what if you were able to save $500,000? That would be worth over $38 million. Now, keep in mind that we have to assume two important things here. First is that you didn't add or subtract from your original amount. Now, of course, it would be great for you to make money in other ways to add to your original, $300,000, as you will reach your financial goals much faster. But too often, though, it's the other way around, meaning that you had to borrow from your original amount, telling yourself that you'll pay it back when you get out of whatever bind that you happen to be in. But something else to remember is that the average rate of return over the course of the last 80 years in the stock market, so what actually happens in the next 5 years could be different, and of course it probably will be, than the 11.5% average. Now remember, this is all for long-term planning anyways, so don't get too stuck on any particular value and year, okay? Just know that you will be at least a millionaire, if not a multi-millionaire, at the end of 40 years if you do nothing else than just save a few $100,000 and follow the steps outlined. Heck, you're going to be a millionaire in 12 years if you just follow the steps outlined in Preserve, okay? So now in Freedom 5, we teach you ways to avoid falling into that downward spiral of borrowing against your nest egg here, okay? And other common financial pitfalls, as well as teaching you the latest strategies on how all of that hard-earned money that you made at the club will make you lots of money. So, we gotta face it here. Wouldn't it be a big waste of time if you took your clothes off for a few years, right? And ended up with nothing to show for it? Now, if, like me, you've been dancing for a while, you definitely understand what I mean, because I know that you've seen far too many examples of these common mistakes that keep these women from becoming a highly paid entertainer. Now, what I want to do is help you in a much, much bigger way.